Change the way you see yourself, and you'll unlock the doorway to a life of purpose, growth, and fulfillment. Your self-perception shapes every choice you make, influencing how you navigate relationships, embrace opportunities, and overcome challenges. By challenging limiting beliefs and cultivating a vision rooted in self-worth and possibility, you transform not only how you view yourself, but also how you engage with the world. When you look in the mirror, who do you truly see? Beyond the reflection staring back, do you see the person within, the one you carry in your mind, shaped by your thoughts, experiences, and beliefs? This vision of yourself is more than just an image. It's the foundation for everything in your life. It influences how you approach relationships, pursue goals, and define your purpose. The way you see yourself dictates how you engage with the world and what you believe is possible for your future. But here's the truth. If the person you see feels limited, unworthy, or stuck, it's time to change the way you perceive yourself. Self-perception is not a fixed state. It's something you can transform. By challenging the stories you tell yourself and adopting a more empowering perspective, you can redefine your life. The mirror is not your judge. It's your invitation to see and become the person you truly aspire to be. Your perception is like a pair of glasses through which you view the world and, most importantly, yourself. This lens shapes how you interpret your surroundings, respond to challenges, and evaluate your successes and failures. It doesn't just stop at the surface, it penetrates deeply into your thoughts, decisions, and actions. Imagine a filter. If this filter is clouded by self-doubt, negativity, or deeply ingrained limiting beliefs, everything you encounter becomes tainted with these same distortions. Opportunities that should feel exciting may instead seem daunting, and successes that deserve celebration may appear inadequate. The result is a life filtered through an overly critical, pessimistic, or constrained perspective, which not only impacts your self-esteem, but also limits your ability to reach your full potential. Now consider a different kind of filter, one that is rooted in self-worth, optimism, and a sense of possibility. Through this lens, the world opens up in a new and inspiring way. Challenges become opportunities to grow, failures transform into lessons, and every small victory feels like a step closer to your larger goals. This shift in perspective can change everything. When you see yourself as capable and deserving, your actions follow. You take risks you once feared, face obstacles with resilience, and allow yourself to dream beyond your current circumstances. However, this isn't merely about wishful thinking or blind positivity. Changing your perception requires an intentional effort to examine and recalibrate the beliefs that hold you back. What are the stories you tell yourself? Do you say, "I always fail," or "I'm not good enough"? These narratives are often invisible to us, ingrained through years of experiences, societal pressures, or even childhood influences. Recognizing these patterns is the first step in creating a healthier lens. Ask yourself, does this belief serve me? Does it reflect the truth of who I am today? Or is it something I've outgrown? One way to reshape your perception is to cultivate self-awareness. Pay attention to the moments when negative thoughts creep in. For example, when you face a setback, does your mind automatically label you as a failure? Pause and challenge this reaction. Replace it with something more constructive, such as, "This didn't work out as planned, but I'm learning and growing." This small shift in thinking can build a foundation for a more positive self-perception. Another powerful practice is to seek out evidence that supports a more balanced or optimistic view of yourself. Think back to times when you succeeded, no matter how small the victory might have seemed. Maybe it was the time you delivered a presentation with confidence or helped a friend through a tough time. These moments are proof of your abilities and potential, yet we often forget them amidst the noise of self-criticism. Moreover, the way you speak about yourself shapes your reality. Words carry immense power. If you consistently tell yourself, I'm terrible at this, or I'll never be successful, you internalize those ideas, turning them into self-fulfilling prophecies. Instead, practice affirmations that align with the version of yourself you wish to become. Statements like, I am capable of handling challenges, or I deserve the success I'm working toward, can transform the way you perceive your own abilities. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is equally crucial. The company you keep influences the beliefs you hold about yourself. When you're around individuals who see your potential, their encouragement can reinforce your own self-worth. On the other hand, constant exposure to negativity or criticism can deepen feelings of inadequacy. Seek out relationships that uplift and inspire you, and be intentional about spending time with those who help you see yourself in a positive light. Remember that your perception is not static. It is fluid, adaptable, and within your control. Every day you have the opportunity to rewrite the narrative you hold about yourself. It might not be easy at first. It requires patience, effort, and sometimes even discomfort, but the results are transformative. As you begin to change the way you see yourself, you'll notice that the world begins to look different too. Barriers will seem less intimidating, goals more achievable, and life more fulfilling. This is the power of perception. It is not just a reflection of who you are, but a tool for shaping who you can become. This transformation in perception doesn't just change how you feel about yourself. It redefines how you behave, the goals you set, and ultimately what you accomplish in life. When you start to see yourself as capable, deserving, and strong, a cascade of positive changes follows. Your actions begin to align with this renewed belief in your potential. You take risks that previously seemed too daunting. You approach challenges with determination rather than hesitation, and you push yourself to explore the boundaries of what's possible. This shift is not just theoretical. It's deeply practical, influencing how you navigate every facet of your existence. Consider how your mindset influences your willingness to step outside your comfort zone. If you view yourself as capable, you'll see risks as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your stability. For instance, you might finally apply for that dream job, launch the business you've always envisioned, or start learning a new skill. Each of these actions brings a degree of uncertainty, but a confident mindset reframes that uncertainty as part of the process of success. The energy you bring to these endeavors, fueled by self-belief, can be the difference between stagnation and meaningful progress. On the other hand, when you see yourself as incapable or unworthy, every challenge can feel like an insurmountable mountain. Even small obstacles, such as presenting your ideas in a meeting or trying something new, can seem overwhelming. You might find yourself avoiding risks altogether, choosing instead to remain in the safety of the familiar. However, this avoidance creates a cycle. The more you shy away from challenges, the more your self-doubt grows, and the harder it becomes to break free. This is why reframing how you perceive yourself is not just important, it's essential. This transformation isn't just about achieving external milestones, though. It also impacts how you handle setbacks. Viewing yourself as capable doesn't mean you'll avoid failure entirely. No one can. But it does mean you'll approach failure differently. Instead of seeing it as a confirmation of your inadequacy, you'll see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. You'll be better equipped to bounce back, to adapt, and to keep moving forward with resilience. This ability to recover and persist is one of the most valuable traits you can cultivate. And it begins with how you see yourself. Reshaping your self-perception doesn't happen overnight, but it's a process that's worth investing in. Start small by challenging the negative narratives you tell yourself. For instance, if your mind says, I'm not good enough, counter that thought with evidence of your achievements, however small they may seem. Remind yourself of the moments when you succeeded, overcame difficulties, or displayed courage. Over time, these reminders build a foundation of self-belief that supports larger shifts in your mindset. Another critical step is to focus on your actions. Confidence grows through doing, not just thinking. Set small, achievable goals that push you slightly beyond your comfort zone. Each time you succeed, your mind will adjust its perception of what you're capable of. This creates a cycle of positive reinforcement where each accomplishment fuels the next. Gradually, you'll find yourself taking on bigger challenges with a sense of purpose and assurance. Surround yourself with people who see your potential and encourage your growth. The voices you hear regularly, whether they come from friends, family, or mentors, play a significant role in shaping how you see yourself. When others believe in you, it becomes easier to believe in yourself. Seek out relationships that uplift and inspire you, and distance yourself from environments that perpetuate doubt or negativity. Visualization can also be a powerful tool in this transformation. Picture the version of yourself who faces challenges head-on, who acts decisively, and who approaches life with curiosity and courage. Imagine what they would do in a difficult situation. Over time, you can start to embody these qualities, bringing that vision to life through your actions. The way you see yourself is the cornerstone of your success and fulfillment. Shifting from a mindset of self-doubt to one of self-belief opens the door to possibilities you may have never considered. It's not just about feeling better. It's about living better, about aligning your actions with your dreams and creating a life that reflects your potential. This shift isn't merely transformative. It's foundational. It changes the way you show up in the world. And when you change how you show up, you change what's possible. Confidence is a language of its own. It shows in your posture, your gestures, and the steadiness of your gaze. It resonates in your voice, the tone, the words, and the conviction with which you express yourself. Together, these elements send an undeniable message: I believe in myself. People can sense when someone believes in themselves, and this assurance often inspires others to place their trust in that person as well. For example, in professional settings, confident individuals are more likely to be seen as leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. In personal relationships, confidence fosters trust and creates a sense of stability. Conversely, a lack of confidence can project uncertainty and self-doubt, which others may unconsciously pick up on. This doubt can seep into the way people treat you, reinforcing your insecurities. For instance, if you second-guess your own abilities, others may be hesitant to rely on you or offer opportunities. Over time, this creates a cycle where your doubts become a self-fulfilling prophecy, making it even harder to break free from negative perceptions. The way you perceive yourself influences your interactions at a fundamental level. When you approach situations with confidence, you're more likely to assert your boundaries, advocate for your needs, and communicate effectively. This assertiveness doesn't come across as arrogance. Instead, it demonstrates a healthy sense of self-worth. People respect those who respect themselves, and they are more likely to reciprocate the value you place on yourself. However, confidence doesn't mean perfection. It's not about pretending to have all the answers or hiding your vulnerabilities. In fact, true confidence comes from accepting and embracing your imperfections. It's about showing up authentically and owning who you are, flaws and all. When you approach the world with this authenticity, people are more likely to connect with you on a deeper level. Vulnerability, when paired with self-assurance, creates an atmosphere of trust and openness that strengthens relationships. Building and maintaining confidence requires intention and practice. One way to start is by focusing on small wins. Every time you achieve a goal, no matter how minor, it reinforces your belief in your capabilities. Over time, these small successes accumulate, creating a foundation of confidence that supports you in larger endeavors. Celebrate your progress and allow yourself to feel proud of what you've accomplished. Another key practice is positive self-talk. The words you use to describe yourself shape how you see yourself, and by extension, how others see you. Replace negative narratives like, I'm not good enough, with affirmations such as, I am capable, or I bring value to the table. This shift in language not only boosts your self-esteem, but also changes the energy you bring into your interactions. Your self-perception serves as the foundation for how you engage with the world. When you see yourself as deserving of respect and success, others are more likely to see you that way too. By fostering confidence from within, you create a cycle of positive reinforcement where your belief in yourself inspires others to believe in you as well. This transformation is not just about how others treat you, it's about how you treat yourself. And when you treat yourself with respect and compassion, the world responds in kind. The good news about perception is that it is not a fixed or unchangeable quality. It isn't a permanent state etched into your being. Rather, it is fluid, adaptable, and most importantly, a choice. Each day presents you with the opportunity to reshape how you see yourself and the world around you. While this transformation takes effort and mindfulness, the rewards are profound. Every small step you take towards seeing yourself in a more positive and empowering light creates momentum that can ultimately lead to a complete shift in your mindset and your life. Building a more positive self-perception doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with small, consistent actions. Start by setting achievable goals that align with the version of yourself you want to become. For instance, if you want to see yourself as confident, take small steps each day to act with confidence, even if you don't fully feel it yet. Over time, these actions reinforce the belief that you are capable, brave, and deserving of success. Mindfulness is another essential tool in reshaping your perception. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise throughout your day, especially in moments of doubt or difficulty. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, "I'll never be good enough," or "I always fail," pause and reframe the thought. Replace it with something constructive, like "I am learning and improving," or "This is a challenge, but I can handle it." These small shifts in thinking might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they build a stronger foundation for self-belief. Compassion toward yourself is equally important. Many of us are our harshest critics, quick to judge ourselves for every flaw and failure. But self-compassion allows you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding, even when you stumble. It reminds you that imperfection is a natural part of being human, and that mistakes are opportunities for growth, not evidence of inadequacy. When you approach yourself with compassion, you create a safe space for change to occur. Another practical step in reshaping your perception is seeking evidence that supports a more positive view of yourself. Reflect on past achievements, big or small, and remind yourself of the strength and resilience you've shown in difficult times. These moments are proof of your capability and worth, even if your inner critic tries to convince you otherwise. Surrounding yourself with supportive and uplifting people can also make a significant difference. The energy of those around you influences your own mindset. So seek out relationships that encourage your growth and affirm your value. A network of positive influences not only reinforces your efforts, but also helps you stay motivated when doubts creep in. The power to change your perception lies within you. It's a choice you can make each day, a commitment to viewing yourself through a lens of possibility rather than limitation. By taking intentional steps, challenging negative beliefs, practicing self-compassion, and building supportive habits, you can transform the way you see yourself. This transformation isn't just about feeling better. It's about unlocking your potential and living a life that reflects your true worth. One of the most transformative tools you can use to reshape your perception of yourself is self-compassion. It is a simple yet profound practice that allows you to treat yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and patience that you would extend to a close friend. Unfortunately, many of us struggle with this concept. We are often our own harshest critics, quick to magnify our flaws, replay our mistakes, and question our worth. This inner critic can become so ingrained in our thoughts that it feels normal, even justified. But what if you chose to approach yourself with compassion instead of judgment? The shift could change everything. Self-compassion starts with embracing imperfection as a natural part of life. Rather than letting mistakes define you, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. This perspective frees you from the harsh judgments of your inner critic and creates space for self-acceptance. Yet when we fall short of our expectations, the inner critic often seizes the opportunity to whisper or shout self-doubt. It tells us that we're not good enough, that we'll never measure up, or that we don't deserve happiness. These thoughts, while persistent, are not truths. They are habits of the mind that can be unlearned. To cultivate self-compassion, start by observing your inner dialogue. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself, especially in moments of difficulty or failure. If your words are harsh, critical, or dismissive, pause and ask, would I speak this way to someone I care about? The answer is almost always no. If you wouldn't say these things to a loved one, why say them to yourself? This realization is the first step toward transforming your inner dialogue. Practicing self-compassion also involves giving yourself permission to feel and acknowledge your emotions without judgment. When you're upset, frustrated, or hurt, allow yourself to sit with those feelings instead of dismissing them or labeling them as weaknesses. Acknowledge that it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's a sign of your humanity, not a flaw. By honoring your emotions, you create space for healing and growth. One of the most powerful aspects of self-compassion is the way it fosters resilience. When you approach yourself with kindness, you build an internal support system that strengthens you during challenging times. Instead of tearing yourself down when things go wrong, you offer yourself encouragement to try again. This supportive inner voice becomes a source of strength, helping you to bounce back from setbacks with renewed determination. Another important practice is to celebrate your small victories and acknowledge your efforts, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Too often, we focus solely on our shortcomings and overlook our accomplishments. By recognizing and appreciating your progress, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and worthy. Self-compassion is not about ignoring your mistakes, but about balancing them with an understanding of your strengths and potential. Mindfulness plays a key role in developing self-compassion. It allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting entangled in them. When you're mindful, you can step back from self-critical patterns and respond to yourself with greater awareness and kindness. For instance, instead of spiraling into self-doubt after a mistake, you can acknowledge the situation and remind yourself, this is difficult right now, but I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Surrounding yourself with compassionate people can also help. When you spend time with those who uplift and support you, it becomes easier to adopt that same attitude toward yourself. Their kindness serves as a model for how you can treat yourself, and their encouragement reinforces your efforts to build a more compassionate mindset. Self-compassion is not about indulging yourself or avoiding responsibility. It's about creating a foundation of self-respect and kindness that allows you to grow. When you treat yourself with compassion, you free yourself from the burden of constant self-criticism and open the door to a healthier, more balanced perspective. This shift doesn't just change how you feel about yourself, it transforms how you approach life. You become more resilient, more confident, and more willing to embrace challenges, knowing that you have your own support no matter what. Visualization is a transformative tool for reshaping your perception and realizing your potential. It helps you imagine a version of yourself that exudes confidence, resilience, and authenticity. By vividly picturing this ideal self, you align your thoughts and actions with the person you aspire to become. As you create this mental image, don't just see it, feel it. Imagine the emotions this best version of yourself experiences. How does it feel to show up with confidence? What does it feel like to achieve your goals or to live authentically? These feelings are essential because they create a deep emotional connection to your vision, making it more tangible and real. The combination of vivid imagery and strong emotion activates your brain's neural pathways, reinforcing the belief that this version of yourself is attainable. Visualization is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about stepping into the fullness of who you are and aligning your actions with your potential. The more you practice this, the more your mind begins to accept this vision as a reality. You'll find yourself naturally adopting the behaviors, habits, and mindset of the person you envision. For instance, if your visualization involves handling challenges with grace, you might notice yourself pausing to reflect rather than reacting impulsively during difficult moments. Another key aspect of visualization is setting goals that align with your vision. Think about what this best version of yourself prioritizes. What are their daily habits? What kind of relationships do they nurture? What dreams do they pursue? By clarifying these details, you can break your vision down into actionable steps. Perhaps your best self values health, so you start incorporating regular exercise and mindfulness practices. Maybe they value learning, so you commit to reading or acquiring new skills. Each small step brings you closer to embodying the person you've envisioned. It's also important to use visualization to prepare for specific challenges or opportunities. For example, if you're nervous about a presentation or a big meeting, take a moment to visualize yourself handling it with confidence and ease. Picture the audience responding positively and imagine yourself walking away feeling proud of your performance. This mental rehearsal helps reduce anxiety and builds confidence, making you more likely to succeed when the moment comes. Consistency is key to making visualization effective. Set aside time each day to revisit your vision. Treat it as a mental exercise, much like going to the gym to strengthen your body. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and the more deeply your mind internalizes the changes. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts in your behavior, mindset, and how you approach life's challenges. Visualization is about aligning your inner world with the outer life you want to create. It helps you bridge the gap between who you are today and who you're capable of becoming. By consistently imagining and stepping into your best self, you're not only reshaping your perception, but also transforming your reality. When you see yourself as capable, confident, and authentic, you begin to act in ways that make this vision your truth. The language you use about yourself is far more powerful than you might realize. Words are not just tools for communication. They shape your thoughts, emotions, and ultimately your reality. The way you talk to yourself, whether silently in your mind or aloud, can either uplift you or hold you back. When you describe yourself in negative terms, you reinforce limiting beliefs about who you are and what you're capable of. Conversely, when your self-talk is positive and empowering, it builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of possibility. Consider how often you might say things like, "I'm terrible at this," or "I'll never succeed." These words may feel harmless or even realistic at the moment, but over time, they shape your self-perception. Your brain internalizes these messages, turning them into beliefs that influence your behavior. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you'll be less likely to take risks or pursue opportunities, fearing failure. On the other hand, words like "I'm learning" or "I can handle this" encourage growth and perseverance. To harness the power of language, start by becoming aware of how you talk to yourself. Pay attention to your inner dialogue, especially during challenging situations. When you catch yourself using negative or limiting language, pause and reframe it. For instance, instead of saying, "I always mess things up," try, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning and improving." This subtle shift creates a more constructive narrative and reduces the weight of self-criticism. Incorporating positive affirmations into your daily routine can also transform the way you see yourself. Affirmations are statements that reflect the qualities, strengths, and aspirations you want to embody. For example, repeating phrases like "I am capable" or "I deserve success" helps reinforce those beliefs in your mind. Over time, these affirmations create new mental pathways, replacing doubt with confidence. The words you use externally matter just as much as your inner dialogue. When speaking about yourself to others, avoid self-deprecating language. While it might seem harmless to say, "I'm so bad at this," or "I could never do that," these statements reinforce negative perceptions in both your mind and theirs. Instead, practice speaking about yourself with kindness and self-respect. For example, you could say, "I'm working on improving this skill," or "I'm excited to challenge myself with something new." By choosing empowering language, you not only reshape your own mindset, but also influence how others perceive and treat you. Remember, words are not just reflections of your current reality. They are tools to create the future you desire. When you choose to speak about yourself with optimism and belief, you open the door to growth, resilience, and success. By changing the way you use language, you can begin to rewrite the story you tell about yourself, one that is filled with possibility and self-empowerment. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most impactful choices you can make in your journey toward personal growth and self-improvement. The company you keep shapes your mindset, influences your self-perception, and plays a significant role in how you approach challenges and opportunities. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, people who doubt, criticize, or belittle, you may find it incredibly difficult to maintain a positive view of yourself. Their pessimism can seep into your thoughts, reinforcing self-doubt and limiting your potential. On the other hand, when you choose to surround yourself with supportive, encouraging, and optimistic individuals, their energy can uplift and inspire you. These are the people who see your strengths even when you cannot, who remind you of your potential when you feel uncertain, and who challenge you to aim higher without tearing you down. They don't just accept you as you are. They actively contribute to your growth by believing in your ability to become even better. Seek out people who align with your values and goals. These could be mentors who guide and inspire you, friends who share your aspirations, or family members who provide unwavering support. Look for individuals who challenge you constructively, celebrate your achievements, and remind you of your worth even when you doubt it. Positive relationships are not about avoiding criticism altogether, but about ensuring that feedback is given with kindness and the intention to help you grow. Another important aspect of surrounding yourself with the right people is reciprocity. Be the kind of person who uplifts and encourages others. When you show kindness, understanding, and support to those around you, you attract similar energy in return. Building meaningful connections is not just about what you receive, but also about what you contribute. These mutual exchanges of positivity create a network of trust and inspiration that benefits everyone involved. It's also worth noting that the right people are not limited to those you interact with physically. Books, podcasts, and online communities can also serve as sources of positive influence. Consuming content created by individuals who inspire and motivate you can reinforce your belief in your own potential and broaden your perspective. Surrounding yourself with uplifting ideas, even virtually, can be just as powerful as in-person connections. The people you choose to keep in your life have a profound impact on how you see yourself and your ability to achieve your goals. When you surround yourself with the right people, you create an environment where positivity, growth, and self-belief flourish. This supportive circle becomes a foundation for your success, reminding you that you're never alone on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Ultimately, changing your perception is about reclaiming your personal power and taking ownership of your narrative. It begins with recognizing that how you see yourself and your circumstances is not set in stone. It's a choice. Every day, you have the opportunity to reshape your beliefs, challenge limiting thoughts, and align your actions with the person you aspire to be. You are not defined by your past mistakes, failures, or the opinions of others. These are merely chapters in your story, not the entirety of who you are. What truly defines you is the vision you hold for your future and the steps you take to bring that vision to life. When you start to see yourself in a more empowering light, you open the door to new possibilities. Barriers that once seemed insurmountable begin to shrink, and opportunities that once felt out of reach come closer. This shift in perception doesn't just change how you feel, it transforms how you live. By choosing to change the way you see yourself, you ignite the first step toward true and lasting transformation.